Alright, you guys, it's time to get serious. Today, we got Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, who's better debate. Now, if you scroll over to videos date at its oldest, you'll see that Little Me did a video on Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. I think it was my first video on my channel. But today we're actually here to break it down because I've been seeing a lot more as LeBron James has broken down into playing great at such an old age. People are saying like, hey, LeBron James may be the GOAT now, and the whole thing is coming back up, and I don't think we'll ever be settled on the GOAT unless there's a new player that comes in and it's just ridiculous. I don't think that'll ever necessarily be settled, but I'm here to break it down. And every time I try to do like a debate like this, I always try to break it down into four great things. And it really is hard to do this debate because LeBron is still playing, but we're talking about as of right now. He stopped playing right now. We're doing this GOAT debate. And the fourth thing I like to break it down to is first career. And when you talk about career, you talk about how much money they've made, brand deals and stuff like that. Who has the better career? Who is known more? Okay, then you talk about statistics. That is a very, very interesting thing. It's just like, when I think about the GOAT debate, it's not always about, people always want to bring it to like, oh, who is the better player? No, that's not the GOAT debate. The GOAT debate is all around basketball when it comes down to every single thing in the NBA, when it comes down to their career, their things off the court, the things they're doing on the court, their statistics, their winning record, just everything has to come into it, not just who can score the most points or who can play better defense. That's not the GOAT debate. So I said statistics. Third thing is winning. I like to put that in there. That's the third thing you got to go through. And the fourth and final thing is who had the bigger effect on his team. Now, look, before we get into it, just want to say, consider subscribing. If anything in this video is informative to you, make sure to watch the whole video through because I'm trying to break it down as much as I can. You got a teenager telling you who's the GOAT. Y'all just got to hear me out, man. But look, let's go ahead and get into it. So first thing first is career. So I got all my notes here. And when you talk about career, I think I'll start off with LeBron James. It's like everybody knows LeBron James, and that's part of the career, and that's part of Michael Jordan and LeBron. Everybody knows LeBron, everybody knows Michael Jordan. When you talk about who is known more, I feel like if you ask a random girl that does not know anything about, and this is from my experiences, I've asked multiple random girls like, hey, they don't watch basketball, they don't watch any type of sports. You ask them, do you know LeBron James? They're like, oh, LeBron James. They may not know what he looks like, but then you talk about Michael Jordan, they know who he looks like. So this is from people just all around the world that don't watch basketball, don't watch sports. People know that Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. They know what Michael Jordan looks like. He's an icon. Michael Jordan since the 90s, 1987, 88. This is Michael Jordan we're talking about. This guy is known by everybody. We're talking about a guy that is believed to have a 1.6 billion net worth. This guy is crazy, but then you think about LeBron James, as I wanted to talk about, he's actually very known as well. Most people may not know him as much as Jordan, but he's also done a lot in his career. And I believe he's done maybe a lot more as we are living in a new day and age to where he's able to do more online, more commercial stuff like this, more brand deals. LeBron James has a $385 million net worth. So that is, it's not close to Jordan, but LeBron is believed to have an over $1 billion deal with Nike. So, a $385 million net worth, that's crazy within itself. And he's on the track to get $500 million. That's coming in before his contract is over with the Lakers. But then you add on the fact that he's believed to have a $1 million contract with Nike. That's crazy. So when we talk about career, first things first, also you got to add in like shoes. Michael Jordan has the most iconic basketball shoe ever. Michael Jordan wins career. I feel like it's close, and I feel like you have to kind of cancel out the fact that, okay, LeBron is living in a whole different, the things you can do now are things that you couldn't do back then, and so, due to the circumstances that Jordan didn't have the resources and things that LeBron can do now, the fact that Jordan is still doing what he does, I think that's fair. I think it's fair enough. Now, the second thing is statistics. Now, statistics is crazy. So what I did was I pulled up both of their stats for, their career. And then I tried to pull out their best season. So I'll start off with Jordan. His career stats are ridiculous. And when you think about the fact that back in the day from, what my old heads tell me, they tell me that it used to be a lot more physical. I've watched film. It was a lot more physical. The fact that Jordan, throughout his whole career, was able to average 30.1 points per game on 49.7% from the field. He also averaged 6.2 rebounds per game and 5.3 assists per game throughout his whole career. That is ridiculous. That is very crazy. Then you compare that with LeBron James' stats for his whole career. is different because LeBron James doesn't really care about scoring as much as he cares about playmaking and rebounding and having a high field goal percentage. You look at LeBron James throughout his career, he's averaged 27.1 points per game, which is down 3 points from Jordan. 50.5% from the field, which is almost a percent higher than Jordan's from field goal percentage, and that's crazy just to show that Michael Jordan actually can shoot the ball from that great from the field, and LeBron James also does too, but LeBron is the inside. This is what when you look at the two greatest basketball players of all time, top two, this is what you get, 50% from the field. That is ridiculous. You look at 7.5 rebounds per game and 8.4 or 7.4 assists per game from LeBron. So that's throughout his whole career. We know as LeBron got, older into the career, his, field goal and, just his rebounding and assists went up. But that's the same with Jordan, so you can't really say that. But 27, 7.5, and 7.5 for his whole career. That is crazy for LeBron. But then you look at their best season, and this one gets interesting because I couldn't figure out who had the better season. As when you talk about the best season ever for these two players, you look at Michael Jordan. Best season ever. He averaged 37.1 points per. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. 37.1 points per game is ridiculous, especially being a shooting guard, especially playing against a lot of physical defense. That's ridiculous. You think about 37.1 points per game, shooting at 48.2% from the field. Who do you know? Like, I know you don't know anybody. I know you don't know anybody. Maybe Harden, but not at this rate. The fact that you're able to average 37 points and whilst putting up 48% from the field. It's not back in the day you weren't able to just shoot 10 free throws like Harden has now. You can't do that. 37 that's 37 authentic points. 37 authentic points with a 48% field goal percentage. That's crazy. He also had 5.2 rebounds per game and 4.6 assists per game. So his playmaking and rebounding actually went down that season in his best season where he scored a lot. But then you look at LeBron James. He had 26.4 points per game in his best season. 55% from the field. That is ridiculous for a point guard / small forward. LeBron James, that is ridiculous. 55% from the field. You look at 8.6 rebounds per game and 8.7 assists per game. Who wins this department? It's tough because you look at statistics. It depends on what you look for in statistics, and then you add on defense. LeBron James and Michael Jordan are both great defenders. So LeBron James could do more on defense because he's taller, he has more height. So I would have to give LeBron James the defensive part of this. But offensive wise, Michael Jordan just did more. 6 and 5 is not that big of a difference between 7 and 7 for your career. It's like it's there, and then you got one averaging 30 and then one averaging 27. But then on the flip side, LeBron James, is just doing more playmaking and, it's in the field goal percentage and, so it's a tough thing. But me personally, I would actually have to also give that one to Michael Jordan. Now, for the third thing, that is winning. And I'm not being biased at all, guys. The first two went to Jordan. I'm not being biased. I'm not picking sides. I'm just literally analyzing it. And based off my analyzation, I'm just telling you the results. Winning, Michael Jordan has 6 championships, 0 loses in the finals, and then you look at LeBron James, he has 4 championship wins, then 6 loses. So it's like, LeBron James has went to the finals more, so that's, kinda, that gives him a little bit of a edge there, but then you think of the fact that Jordan went 6 times, which is 4 times less than LeBron, but Jordan won 6 times, so he never lost the NBA Finals, and LeBron has lost 6. So that is a thing. And when you talk about winning, I also wanted to talk about like MVPs and stuff of that nature. LeBron has 4 MVPs. He has 4 championships. He has 2 Olympic gold medals, but he only has 1 scoring title, and that's crazy to me. I would have thought LeBron would have had more scoring titles, but he doesn't. Obviously, he works on playmaking and rebounding a lot more than he does in defense, so scoring just never came. So you look at the winning from championship-wise, that goes to Michael Jordan. But then you look at also LeBron, or Michael Jordan, his accolades for himself. That is also, he won that. He has 6 championships. We already said that, but 5 MVPs. That is one more than LeBron James has. So. We'll see. LeBron James could possibly get another MVP. This will be a good season to get one if his team was a little bit better, but he will not because his team is not a little bit better. You think of 5 MVPs for Michael Jordan and 10 scoring titles. That is ridiculous. So when we look at the winning department, once again, that goes to Michael Jordan, no brainer. Once again, I told y'all, I'm not picking sides for anything. I'm literally just analyzing it, and at the end, I will tell you based off my analyzation who's better. Right now, 3 out of 4 to Michael Jordan. Now, you look at the fourth thing, you talk about effect to his team. Now, this one will go to LeBron James without really thinking about it. People always want to bring the narrative up that Michael Jordan needed a super team to win with, you know, Scottie Pippen and, you know, say Dennis Rodman, which Dennis Rodman wasn't there the whole time. So it was really just Scottie Pippen and then Dennis Rodman half of the time. Thinking about it, LeBron has also had a super team. He's had, you know, the Miami Heat. Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving wasn't, you know, a trash team. LeBron, like when you talk about having a super team, every single championship winner has been a super team because you have to, it's the best team in the NBA. Every best team in the NBA is going to be necessarily a super team. So LeBron James has always had a good team. It's different to try to win without a good team. You think about what I said was LeBron James' best statistical-wise season. He did not have a great team. So generally, I think that you have to say that everybody has had a great team when it comes down to winning championship. But when you talk about the effect on that team, you take LeBron James off the Cleveland Cavaliers, you take LeBron James off any single team that he's been on, they're losing. He went to the Los Angeles Lakers and immediately won them and brought them a championship that was very needed. Now, Michael Jordan has been also great, but I don't think his effect is anywhere near LeBron because LeBron James literally does everything for his team. He's literally the main playmaker, the main focus guy. That's got to go to LeBron. So guys, it was 3 out of 4. 3 went to Michael Jordan, 1 went to LeBron James. So based off my 4 main things that I went, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. But I am just a teenager. More people have seen Michael Jordan than I've seen. More people saw LeBron James than I've seen. But just based off the things that I've watched, I believe that Michael Jordan is better just based off the things that I put on paper. But it's always a different thing when you watching film. We know who's better. Film-wise, it's so pure watching Michael Jordan. LeBron James makes crazy high IQ plays. They're both so great. But I just wanted to break it down because it was a very big thing going on, and I just wanted to formally give you guys the GOAT debate, not just the who's better, who can put up more 50-point games. That's just not real. But look, I'm gonna end the video off here, man. I don't know. Maybe this video went viral, maybe it didn't. But look, consider subscribing if it did because it's completely free. You can always change your mind later. 1K before the summer is our goal. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me, man. I'll see y'all.